What's going on, boys, girls, and crazy people? Welcome to the video of how we met. So we're trying to do a nice change of pace on this channel, just a little bit, flow it in there, to unify. You got to build up the base before you build up the house.
Shut the fuck up.
Of how we met, right? So we met on Tinder. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one.
Bye.
No.
No.
I guess
There's more
we'll
to
give a
it.
little bit more details on it. So for me, a little bit of backstory. I originally, I guess, got on Tinder because I thought I was gonna die.
Excuse me? I didn't even know this.
I
What?
really did. You know.
Because you're lymph nodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a.
So I was just gonna be life insurance?
No.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Just trying to find some love before I die. That's all.
Aww.
You know. But no. So whenever I was like, this is like a story in itself. But when I was like, I guess probably like 15, 16, I don't know. I had like a series. I still do some enlarged lymph nodes in my neck that are just permanently enlarged.
Permanently?
Yeah, if I turn to the side, you can feel it. But when I was younger, I obsessed over it a little bit, I guess, and thought that it was like a cancerous like tumor, and I was pretty set that I was done for a while. It's crazy, of course, looking back at it now. But no, I went and I got it checked out, and everything was, it was normal. It was fine. It's just I must have gotten sick at some point, and they swole up and just never went back down, and that can be normal.
I mean, to be fair, we're sick the majority of our lives, but our immune system knows how to combat most of it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, inflammation comes from a lot of infection, which can be minor or severe.
Yeah.
Which is what I tried to tell him before. But I mean, as much as I want to tell him it's gonna be okay, I think if I had huge lymph nodes on my neck, I would be, what's what I'm looking for? Concerned as well.
Yeah. So that's kind of how with me. You know how it is. I guess hypochondriac or. Just how people say don't look on Google because you'll stress yourself out, and it kind of just built from there. So anyway, I thought, you know what, I probably don't got long to live because I grew up pretty sheltered, pretty shy. I was homeschooled and just didn't really have a lot of experience out there. So I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. If it's going to be the end, then I might as well live it up. A speed run, what I would speed run the usual experience, and got on Tinder, and
I thought your mom wanted you to get a girlfriend.
my mom wanted me to get a girlfriend as well, so it was kind of something to pacify her. So I lucked out on Tinder. I guess the first few girls I had matched with were like trying to sell me drugs, or
was it weed or was it more serious?
Yeah, it's probably weed. I think some of it, but. And then the other girl I matched with and actually ended up having a good conversation with, she had a kid, and not that that's a deal breaker for everyone, but personally for me it was kind of like not something I was wanting to get into for my first girlfriend, of course.
Fair enough.
And she had like short hair. She had like a pixie cut, and I don't like that, so that was it as well. But we had good conversation, but everything else was no. But with her, we had the conversation. And then, of course, it would seem like I'm just saying this just because she's here. But she was what I was looking for in terms of physical attraction as well. So it kind of just hit. So it was.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by physical attraction?
I told you. Don't act like I don't want to say.
I don't remember. What, Hispanic? No. Anything but white?
No, I mean
anything but white.
I'm not even gonna go in there. Whatever, but. But no, so there was that as well. That clicked, and then I usually I think I had matched with some girls that worked for me a little bit to where it would be kind of almost enough to go out with, but I did not end up going out with them just because I was a little bit shy, And then also there was this one girl I remember specifically. She continued. I'm pretty sure I still have her blocked in my phone, or at least on my old phone number. But her name was like Sabrina, I think, and she was very eager, like, to get me over, to do, I presume, like, pretty serious stuff. Yeah, that. But I guess I'm messed up. I guess it's offensive to say, but I don't like girls with red hair. I don't. And she had red hair, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it. So, so I had a few instances on Tinder that like half worked, but with her, it fully worked, right? So that was
pretty much.
No, I mean, yeah, it fully worked. Bitch. So that was my
fucking kill you.
My shoe in to go for. So, I don't want to like bring out some fairy tale story because of course we've had problems in our relationship like everybody else would. But initially, whenever matching, it was like, yeah, this is, a really perfect scenario. And I want to say the only way I would have probably had the courage to go through with it, because like I said, I was very sheltered and very shy. The only way I would have had the courage to fully go through with it was if everything lined up. And fortunately it did.
And he did not hesitate to ask me either. It was like, 4 or 5 days of talking, and you were like, let's go out on a date. And I was like, whoa. Not that it was too soon for him to ask or anything like that. I hadn't been asked yet when I was on Tinder, because I was only on for maybe a week. So
which was very, very big for me to do that. But yeah, of course, only on for a week. Yeah, that's girls' experience on Tinder. They're getting, what is it? Everybody's matching with them, no matter what. Even me, I'm guilty of that. Meeting a girl on Tinder and, or not meeting a girl, but going on Tinder and just swiping, right on everybody, because of course it's not like that. I guess not for every guy. I don't know, maybe it is, but statistically it's just the way,
unless you have like major six packs and fairy tale blue eyes. I don't even know
if that even works. I wouldn't think so, but yeah, it's just tougher, so you kind of have to do that if you want to get a match, I do believe. But anyway, so that's kind of my back story. And yours was, I already know what yours was, but
well, I mean, I guess I had been in a semi-serious relationship for a while with a dude I had originally met in freshman year of high school. We dated on and off, whatever I guess you want to call it, for maybe about 6 months. I was heartbroken. It was like the biggest heartbreak I ever had. My mom even told me that, whatever. And then when eventually I got over it, it was my senior year, and then he had looped back into my life again, and we graduated. We ended up going out again, and once again it didn't work out. This time a little bit more serious. He ended up like cheating on me and shit like that while I was away for college. So I took a break from dating in general for almost a year, I think, like just shy of a year. Not because I specifically told myself, like, oh, I'm not going to date anymore, like, I'm done with men. I didn't say shit like that. It just ended up being that I was in this, like, just dormant state for, like, 10 months or 11 months or something like that. And me and my mom were actually talking about it one day, just casual conversation. Like, oh, you found a boyfriend yet? Because I was away at college, which is something that most people do when they're away at college. They find somebody to date seriously or, not so seriously or whatever. And I was like, actually, no, I didn't even think about it. And in my mind, I didn't even realize it had been that long. So it didn't really seem like a big deal to me that people were consistently asking me, like, oh, you got a boyfriend yet or whatever, because it had been almost a year at that point. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come home. I think I'd already came home for a while because that college didn't end up working out for me. And I was like, I'll at least try to meet people. I did not go in with the intention of hooking up or getting in a serious relationship. I just went in with the intention of trying to talk to males again in a flirtatious manner and trying to just get back out there, I guess. And that's where I met Torian, which is funny because I think I only matched with like literally less than like 7 people. I was only on for like 5 or 6 days, and even then I wasn't.
I was on, just by comparison, I was probably on from September, October, and November, and we met in December. So I was on for like 3 months. Just just by comparison.
Patience.
It's just kind of gross the way girls can just kind of knit in there like
Sorry,
that. But
we got
obviously,
tits.
it's how it is. So anyway.
But yeah, so so what's funny is that I was actually working at Subway, and I seen his profile come up. I wasn't on every day. Maybe I was like 1 day, 2 days, then I would take a break, and then like 3 or 4, take a 2-day break. Like, it was just kind of random, but it definitely wasn't every single day. But I would get on, and I remember seeing your profile, and you had long hair in the majority of your pictures. I mean,
Yeah, I
like
used to
shoulder length
have
hair.
long hair, I had cut it just maybe like, I cut it in August before we met in December, so I had just cut it.
Okay. So, and a lot of his pictures he had, I didn't know necessarily that he had long hair, but I knew that he wore this beanie, and like 90% of the pictures that you had, and like the 7 pictures that you had, 6 of them you had the beanie on. I didn't care for the beanie, honestly. And I didn't care for the fact that he had other people in his pictures, because not necessarily that I got him confused, because I could cross-reference the other pictures, but I was like, why the fuck would you put other people on your Tinder profile? But so I was like really stuck. I didn't know if I wanted to swipe or not, and not gonna lie, he wasn't the most attractive in his pictures. They were definitely I'm not gonna say there were other guys who were more attractive, because there really weren't, because they're really ugly most of the time. But I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. But his bio is what got me stuck. You know, video games, work at a vet hospital, love dogs. You know, that was literally all me. Love dogs.
I love a dog, my dog, and that's it.
Love dogs. Play video games. Watch a lot of TV shows. You know, that was really pretty much it that was on your bio, which was basically the exact same as my bio. So I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, then I started thinking to myself, and if you're a girl watching this video, you'll definitely understand, you know, men don't know how to take pictures of themselves and make themselves look good. They take them at the worst fucking possible angles. The majority of the time, your nose looked 4 times bigger than what it is. I was like, good God, is his face anything but nose?
It's already pretty big. I mean.
So, yeah, I pondered on his profile for about 1.5 days to 2 days. Even asked people's opinions. What do you think? Should I swipe on this or should I not? Which is funny, because I didn't ask anyone else for any other opinions on any other profiles.
But when you're a girl, you gotta be sure, because you're definitely getting a match. So.
But as soon as I swiped, here comes the match. And I'm glad that I did. I'm not regretting it at all. Which is funny, because the first thing you asked me was, oh, what video games do you play?
Yeah, I'm a real good conversationalist whenever it comes down to it. I narrowed in, you know. I watch YouTube videos on how to do this with women.
Oh, good God.
No, I seriously did though. It's not a joke.
He just fucking farted. So disgusting.
See where we started and versus where we ended up?
Anyways, so we started talking about video games, and at the time I was super big. Not super big, but I was big into Fortnite. So he was like, oh yeah, we should play sometime.
And I really did not fucking want to. I'm very, even to this day, I'm very, what's the word, reserved, antisocial, where I keep to myself. But man, was I fucking pushing the envelope, right? Just
for some pussy.
I guess she knows now, like, how I am and how outside of my comfort zone even doing something like that would have been. And it was.
Oh, definitely.
But I really fucking pushed myself to do it. And I only stayed on for I think an hour or 2. I mean, I may have had to work the next day, but even so, I was like,
I think you did.
I was like, I'm just going to do it just enough so I can say I did it, and then I'm going to hop off. And then, but yeah, so for our first date activity, I had planned out in my head for a while. I don't know why, but my first date was going to be at Hickory Dickory Dock. If you don't know what that is, it's like a game, what do you call it, like an arcade?
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it's an arcade.
Kinda, but different, because they have more like go-karts and playpens and stuff like that, but also the whole arcade center.
Yeah.
So it's similar to a Chuck E. Cheese, but not quite.
Yeah, so I think we didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, we didn't go to Hickory Dickory Dock because she I think I had said like, oh, we could go bowling instead. I think because they stayed open a lot later than Hickory Dickory Dock, and so we ended up deciding to go bowling instead, which oddly enough we didn't even end up doing anyway. But yeah, so for the first date, I know I was fucking sick. I'm sure it's a different story for her because she probably didn't have the same anxieties that I guess I had. But I know after work, I was like, I met my sister at, and my mom as well, but I met my sister at a wing, it was Parkway House. It was Parkway House. And I remember I was so sick I couldn't even eat my food. I was so nervous. And my sister was like, "Oh, this is normal." I was like, "I don't think so. Otherwise, people wouldn't be doing this shit." But and you know, everybody would just tell me it's normal. It's normal. It'll be fine. But I was so fucking nervous, of course. Only other girlfriend I guess I had was this bitch in fourth grade. You know, I thought she was shit at the time. But looking back at it now, she was a real bitch because she told me, "Hey, I'll be your girlfriend, but you can't tell nobody about it." She was ashamed of me. I didn't get that at the time.
Too.
I didn't get that back
just
then.
kidding.
But you're funny. So no, so we met up at the mall. Decided a nice public place to meet somebody you met online, and. You know, I guess she's going to say it if I don't. I was late for the date by about 30 minutes or so, I guess. But I was getting her a gift. My coworkers.
Don't fucking matter, bitch.
Yeah, don't matter, I guess. I showed you earlier.
Any other person probably would have walked off, but me,
yeah.
I'm pretty understanding. I was like, okay,
Luckily.
wait. Plus, I was at my favorite store in the mall, so I was probably going to be there for a while anyway. So
Sephora.
What hurt does it make to get a free meal and potentially meet the love of your life? Which
free meal. That's
where
funny
am I
you say
at
that.
now?
But anyway, so yeah, my coworkers had talked me into getting her a gift. One of my coworkers, their husband had got them a gift for like Valentine's Day or something, but she didn't realize how much it cost. But it was like a gold. It was a rose.
I'm gonna go get it.
It was a rose. No, don't get it now.
I'm gonna get it.
She's gonna get it out. It was a rose that was plated in gold and preserved, and it cost, I think, like $180. Was it? Almost $200. And I was so, I guess, inexperienced that I listened to her. She was like, yeah, she's gonna love it. And I was like, okay, no matter what the price, I'll go ahead and get it. And I got, the $180 rose. And I feel stupid saying it now.
It came with a little container that you put it into. It's really pretty. Like,
and half of the long period that I spent, being late was I was trying to call my coworker, and other people, of course, being like, dude, should I give this to her? Is this going to seem weird? It cost $180. And looking back at my wisdom now, I would say, yeah, fuck no, don't do that. But, whatever. What is it? Time. I'm sure there's plenty of quotes about time bringing on wisdom, right? So anyway, or experience bringing on wisdom. So, I got that, hid it away as my, apology for being late, whatever. I didn't give it to her right away, though. So we met up, went to eat at the Hickory, at a place. It was her favorite place. I was playing it smart. I picked her favorite restaurant,
you did.
Although I was so nervous, whenever we were at the mall, we walked around. It was around Christmas time. So we went and looked for a gift for my mom, just trying to find activities for us to do, things to do to pass the time. So it wasn't so weird. We were just kind of, trying to find stuff. I was trying to make sure I always had a plan of something that we were going to be doing. So it wasn't weird. And so we looked for a gift for my mom. And in the process of looking for this gift, I somehow lost my wallet in the bag that my mom's gift was in. So we get to the restaurant. And I was planning on paying, of course, being the man.
Sure.
In that. Yeah, sure, right?
Sure. After he dropped the money on the rose, he was probably like, fuck no, she can pay for that.
And with my wisdom, that I have now, yeah, I probably would have. but I was looking for my wallet, scrambling. I was trying to play it cool, I guess. I was like,
It was
looking,
not cool
but
at all.
She could tell I was kind of sweating. I couldn't find my wallet when the bill came. So I think you might have gave me the opening to go to the bathroom.
So I saw him, patting like this because he had a nice jacket with inner pockets in it. So he was like patting everywhere, like, where is it? Like, he didn't say like, oh, I lost it, where is it, or whatever. But I saw him do this for about 5 minutes straight. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna let him dig around, because of course you're not gonna frantically look in front of somebody. You don't want to like put alarm or anything like that on. So I told him, I was like, I have to use the restroom, which was so happenly just right across the fucking table from us too. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I went in there. I took my time too. Okay, I came back. I noticed there was no money, no card on the bill, and I was like, fuck.
I was like, fuck too. So, but fortunately, she brought out her credit card or whatever and paid for the dinner. And I was like, pretty much like, yeah, this is a complete fail, because if the one thing that I think most guys generically know how to do on a first date is you pay for the meal, But I mean, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't find the wallet. But fortunately, we get back into the car and the wallet is in the bag.
It's actually in the gift bag that he put the rose in.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was in, because I told him, I said, well, maybe it fell out, like, in between the seat cracks or in between the seat and the door, somewhere in the car. Because we were trying to retrace the steps. Like, what was the last place he had it? Well, I pulled my wallet out and I paid for the gift that I got from my mom at, this store. But I remember specifically putting it back somewhere, whatever. So we're, okay, well, let's look back in the car. You already checked your pockets and your coat, not there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the end of the night when I opened the rose and I found it, because the restaurant or the store that you went and got the gift for your mom had already closed for the night. So it wasn't like I could call up there or drive up there and be like, hey, did you guys find a wallet? It was like, you're going to have to wait until tomorrow regardless. So we finished the date out as usual, because there was nothing that we could do, at least until tomorrow. So
yeah, there was the whole wallet fiasco. And then, we go to the bowling alley afterwards. And this is where the date, I guess, gets kind of, what's the word?
Climax?
It was good, what's the word? Synergy, whenever we were able to. Because it's pretty rare, I think, for people who first meet to kind of comfortably just sit in a car and talk and listen to music or something. But no, we did that. We sat in the car and talked and listened to music. And it sounds a little bit, what's the word? I don't know, fake or fairy tale. But I mean, we fell asleep, in the car together as well for a little bit, because it was late. It was like midnight. At least. And but then of course everything that goes uphill must again go downhill. So it was about my curfew. My parents, of course, I wasn't young. I was like, what was I, 20 at the time? 20, and I'm 23 now. So yeah, I was probably about 20. But I still had a curfew because I
was 18, 19, so yeah.
Yeah, but I still live with my parents. So I still had a curfew, time to check in, and my parents and my sister were calling me, like, wanting me to check back in and get to the house. And I was like, no, I'm having the fucking time of my life, and I just hung up on him. I was like, fuck off.
Every single time he was like, yeah, I was like, aren't you gonna get that? And he was like, yeah, no, fuck them, ignore.
I was trying to show off, be a big shot, right?
I was like, yeah, they bother me most of the time anyway, fuck them,
my,
ignore. Bless you. Bless you.
My thing on my neck, I thought I was gonna be dead soon anyway, so whatever. But
shut up.
So her mom starts calling eventually.
At like 3 a.m. my mom starts calling.
Yeah, and the bowling alley is closed, and we're still just sitting in the car talking. And I swear to God, whenever it sounds like we're just saying, oh, we were just talking and we were really making out. No, we were really just talking. Although
we're not there yet. Relax. Let them hear the rest of the story.
No, it's not that.
There.
I was going to say, I did have a moment where I look back at my more experienced self now and have a cringy line that I said in my head where we were listening to this song, although I guess it was a little bit smooth. We were listening to a song, it was, I guess we call it our first date song. It was, what is it, Time After Time?
Uh-huh.
And I was looked at her and I was like, you know, if I was ever gonna have a first kiss, it would be to this song.
And I did not kiss.
But she didn't kiss me, and it was
so awkward. I was like, bro. I just looked at him and I was like, yeah.
I still blame it on her for making it awkward though. But whatever.
No, you don't tell people. Like, if the moment's right, the moment's right. You learned that later that night. Don't play with me.
For somebody with no experience, though, you know, I think it was pretty smooth. So yeah, but I'm sure anybody else on the outside looking in would have died of cringe in that moment. But anyway, it happened. I still remember it, and yeah. So it got to be like I said, 3 a.m. Her mom was calling, and at that point she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go." Because I don't have a cancerous lymph node. I'm not going to tell my mom to fuck off. She could still kill me.
I think I did the first time. I was like, yeah, I'm heading out. We ended up staying out for like 30 more minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when the magic started happening.
Yeah, I wasn't really going to get into that. But yeah, so I got out of my car and she was going to drive off because we, you know, both had our cars in the parking lot. But we just got in the same car, of course, and started talking. But I, you know, we started kissing and stuff, you know, kiss goodbye. Well, did you kiss me on the first go goodbye? You kissed me on the first go goodbye.
I think I probably did it, honestly.
Yeah, she just gave me one little kiss, you know, on the first go, and then she drove off. But whenever she drove off, I realized I had left.
No, we were making out the first time.
Okay, well, yeah, we made out a little bit outside the car.
I don't remember how it started.
And then she drove off, and I realized I had left my phone in her car, of course, as I was nervous and distracted. And so I went to
I actually was already... We lived 45 minutes apart from each other at the time. So we met, you know, smack in the middle, about 20 minutes for you and 20 minutes for me.
Yep.
So I got on the interstate to go back to my hometown, and I started getting a random call from a random person on Snapchat, which is fucking rare. Like,
yeah,
how the fuck does that even happen?
So I was a quick thinker, and the bowling alley was open till like 1 a.m. I think, and there was people that had came outside from when it had closed. And I went and asked one of them, you know, he's a pretty drunk dude, I remember. And
I don't know this story.
I asked him for his phone if I could use it real quick, you know, and he was, like I said, intoxicated, whatever. So he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I called, luckily I remembered, I guess, what her Snap was, and I added her and then called her. Or maybe I logged into my Snap, I don't remember. Hopefully
no, you called me from his, because it was like Terry315 or something.
Yeah, hopefully.
Like I was like, who the fuck is this?
Okay, yeah, so, yeah. So I called her from that guy's
You're lucky
Snap.
I even answered,
I know.
honestly.
And she turned around with the phone and came back. But
I was already
you know,
halfway down. I was like 20 minutes in. I was like, okay, I'm turning around right now. I had to call my mom and tell her, hey, change of plans. I have to turn around because this dumb motherfucker left his fucking phone in my car.
Yeah, I don't think she can be that too far gone, but still frustratingly far gone anyway. But so she came back, and wouldn't you know, as a joke, you know, me trying to pull on my fake big boy pants, I took my phone and I was like, you know, I threw it back in her car, and I was making some joke. I guess it's smooth and a little bit stupid as well, looking back at who I am now. But I threw it back in her car, and I was like, yeah, I just gave you a reason to come back to me, trying to play it off smooth. And we start making out and kissing again.
Grabbing my ass, too.
Grabbing her butt.
My rear.
But wouldn't you know, in doing this, I ended up forgetting my phone in her car again.
It sounds like a joke, but we're dead ass fucking serious.
It is. And then she apparently, so she went on and went to work the next day, and then
I had to be at work at 7 a.m. at the latest.
Yeah.
And I got home at like 3:30.
Yeah, so she got like a alert, the iPhone alert, whatever you do when you've lost your phone.
No. Let me tell you, I got up for work in the morning. My mom was walking my dogs, And I'm sitting in my car and I'm like, bye, I'll be home later or whatever. I'm going to work. She's like, okay, bye. And she's like, what's that on your dashboard? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, that black thing. You had actually texted me the night before from your stepdad's phone. You logged into your Snapchat and you said, hey, did I leave my phone in your car? And I was like, I didn't even answer him because I thought it was a joke. I was like, haha, funny, gotta go to bed or whatever. I went to bed. And I woke up and then my mom said, what's that on your dashboard? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, what's that right there? And I look at it, it's a fucking phone. And I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah,
I felt bad because I had ignored him when he was being dead serious. But it was like, how the fuck did you manage to do that? Not once, but twice in the same night.
Yeah, so this is it's one of those cases. Like I said, one of the best nights of my life. I got some action, I got some kisses, got a great girl that I got to talk to. Also turned into one of the worst with doing one of the most I guess nightmarish things that you could do after a night like that, right? So it was just like, I don't know. That's just life, guys. But anyway, it worked out. I guess the way it was supposed to. For sure.
Sorry.
And it is, I think, a very overall good first meeting story. But anyway, I guess we should kind of conclude how I got the phone back. Shall we? No, I went to her house, a few days later and got the phone, and then we kind of went on from there. I think from that point we were both going on vacation at the time because it was like Christmas time. Yeah, so we both went on vacation for like 2 weeks. And then came back to it and kind of started from there. But yeah, so that's basically it. I think it is a pretty entertaining, story to tell. I mean, a lot of crazy shit in there. I think, so.
Well, it's a lot. Yeah, especially
cool
for being late and losing your wallet and then
Yeah.
losing your phone. It was a lot for a first date.
I was very nervous.
He was
yeah.
super surprised that I even wanted to continue to date him. But I think that us talking for it was like almost 2 or 3 hours, just really did it. I mean, you don't do something like that with someone if you don't feel at least something at all.
Yeah.
Further than friends. You don't sit there and just talk on a first date with someone. We completely ditched the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we just stay here and just talk? Like, I mean, I'm having a good time and you're having a good time. We listen to music, like doing the whole, you play a song and I play a song and you tell me what your favorite band is and I'll tell you what my favorite band is or whatever,
Yeah.
Just getting to know each other, which was,
Yeah.
arguably one of the best first dates that you'd ever ask for, just really getting to know someone rather than sitting in a dark movie theater and not talking the whole fucking time,
Yeah. Yeah, it was something special, something different for sure. So yeah, if you like this video, there's other stories I guess that we could tell. Life advice things, I thought about doing are more just real, useful topics going forward, stuff to either build the both of us up or something that I maybe could offer to build you up as well, or her, because we're not old people by any means, but we're not young either, so we kind of have, I think, a little bit
have a lot
of experience with some things to offer as well. So maybe we'll start doing more videos kind of in this realm, more real personal stuff to us. Going forward, I think that could be fun. So
Definitely.
or useful anyway, and yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you know what, guys, I used to be a sad virgin, masturbating in my bedroom just like you, but now look at me.
That is enough.
I'm about to go fuck this. Would you like to fuck this tonight? Well, then just follow my advice, fellas, because one day this could be you.
I don't know what to say.